everyone out there says use breath support for singing, and they are completely right. I have absolutely nothing against that. They are completely 100% right. But many students are completely confused about what that means. I know I'm supposed to use breath support, but how should I do that? Right? So I am here to answer this question for you right now. Let's start with first looking at what it even is that you have to use to have breath support. A lot of times people say use your diaphragm for your breath support, which is impossible. Your diaphragm is relaxed when you breathe out, so you cannot physically use your diaphragm for breath support. It is your core, which is your abs and your internal intercostal muscles, which are the muscles in between your ribs. And those are the muscles that you have to use for breath support. If you want to learn more about that, I just released a video about that as well, like how to breathe. And I'll put the link in the description below so you can check that out as well. So it is the core, right, that you have to use for breath support. Now, how do you know if your core is engaged and if you are using it for breath support or not? Well, there are 4 things you can do to start engaging your breath support. The easiest thing to feel if your core is engaged or not and to actually engage your breath support and your core is blowing up a balloon. It doesn't get easier than that, because if you blow up a balloon, you're pushing the air out from down here, right? Like you're pushing your core back in, and that moves the diaphragm back up and air gets pushed out, right? So blow up a balloon and put one hand right here on your abs and feel it push, right? It's really, really pushing down here. So blowing up a balloon is a wonderful tool to start feeling your core engage. And that is exactly what you want to feel when you sing, right? So if I put my hand right here, and I'm really pushing that air out, I can feel my core engage, and that's what it should feel like when you sing as well. Another thing you can do is sing while doing a plank. Now, I am not the biggest fan of that, and I can tell you why. When you are doing a plank, your core is engaged at all times and it's never released. If you are releasing your core and you're doing a plank on your elbows or your hands, it doesn't matter, then your core is always tight. But if you are just breathing, then it's a constant like engage, relax kind of motion with your core. You have to relax your core to really get enough breath in. Now, if you are doing a plank, then it's going to be really hard for you to breathe in enough air. So what I like to do when I do a plank with my students is just lay on the floor, breathe in, then get into your plank and start singing, right? That's when you will feel like your core engage. But if you are breathing while you're doing your plank, then that severely restricts your breath movement, which is not very useful for singing because without air, we can't make sound, right? So planks can be a great tool to see and feel your core engage, but not so great for getting air in the first place. Then one of my absolute favorite things to do, and something absolutely every singer should do before they start singing as part of their warm-ups, is getting your heart rate up as well, by like doing a couple jumping jacks or running in place or run around the block or whatever it is that you want to do. Try to get your heart rate up, because that will help you connect your breath to your body, right? If you do physical activity and if you are moving with your body, then you are breathing more heavily, which helps you connect your breath to your body. And that is so important, right? Because a lot of times I see people singing from here up, not from here up, right? So really, really, really do some physical activity. Like, it doesn't have to be crazy, right? You don't have to squeeze in an entire workout before you start singing. Like 20 to 30 jumping jacks or running in place for 30 seconds is plenty. That's all you have to do. And if you start feeling yourself losing that breath support again, try a couple of jumping jacks again or run in place again, whatever it is that you want to do, and you will immediately feel a very, very big difference, right? So give that a try. I know it's a little bit weird, but it helps. And then the last thing that you can do to engage your breath support is just take your hands and push in here, push into your top two abs, basically, right? You just kind of want to gently, obviously not too hard, push in here when you're singing. So let's give this a try. Let's do a little experiment. If I am singing and I'm not using my core, like let's just do a regular 5-tone scale, right? Something like ah, it's really hard, right? It doesn't sound good because it's all coming from my throat. And I really have to focus to not engage my core because I'm so used to doing it. But that's kind of what it sounds like if it all just comes from my throat. Now, if I push in here, like in my top two abs with my hands gently, and I engage my core, then it sounds like this. Ah, doesn't that sound so much better, right? I am not flat on that top note anymore. Ah, ah, so much easier than ah, like it does not feel good and I'm flat, right? So really use your core for support by just pushing in here. It doesn't feel good if your core is not engaged, but if it is engaged, then it's fine, right? That's like some people tell you to box, like for you to box them right here, and that doesn't hurt. It doesn't, as long as your core is engaged. But if it's not engaged, it will not feel good, okay? So that's basically what we're doing. We're engaging right here. And you know, like even if you're just talking, if you put your hand right here, you will feel your core engage. It's exactly the same thing. Singing is just extended speech, but you gotta engage that core, right? So do those 4 things. Blow up a balloon, see what that feels like. Do some jumping jacks or run in place to connect your breath to your body, to use your core. Gently push in here and even try a plank if you want to and see if that helps. Okay, so those 4 things will help you to start engage your breath support, and it's the most important thing. If you don't have good breath support, then it's going to be really, really difficult to sing high notes and to belt these high notes as well. So really make sure you are engaging your core, not your diaphragm, your core for breath support. So if you want to learn more about how to engage your breath support, how to breathe in the first place as well, which is really, really important because if there's no air, we can't make any sound, then I highly recommend that you download my free breathing bootcamp. It is brand new. I literally just put this together and it is a whole bunch of fun because the exercises are made out of pop songs and yeah, it's just a whole lot of fun. It's not just la 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 la. It's kind of boring, right? So yeah, if you want to have a whole bunch of fun and go through this boot camp, it is go, 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 right? It is hard, but it is really, really good for you and it's going to transform the way you sing. Oh my gosh, all of a sudden singing will become so much easier for you and it is free, right? So if you want to give this a try, check out the link in the description box below and I will hopefully see you in that boot camp.